Today we honor and celebrate the feast of the Apostle St. James. James is one of Jesus' first disciples. He was given the title the Greater to help distinguish him from James the Less because of his shorter stature. James was fishing with his father, Zebedee, and John the Apostle when they noticed a man who they didn't know yet was Jesus building a fire on the shores of the Sea of Galilee. Unable to catch any fish that day, Jesus asked if they'd caught anything. After Peter replied no, Jesus suggested the fishermen throw their nets into the sea once more. Following Jesus' instruction, they cast the net into the water. As they began pulling on the net, they found it so full that the boat almost sank from the weight. At that moment, they knew it was our Lord. James became a devout follower of Jesus after this, and was one of 3 called by Jesus to witness his transfiguration. After Jesus' ascension, James spent 40 years traveling across Israel, Rome, and Spain, spreading the word of Christ. Upon returning to Jerusalem, however, James was martyred for his faith in the year 44 by King Herod and became the first apostle to die. Today his remains can be found in the Cathedral of Santiago, which is a frequent site by pilgrims.
Santiago, or St. James, was one of the first apostles. He was a fisherman, like his brother John, until they met Jesus.
Hello, follow me.
And leaving their nets behind, they followed him. With Jesus, they learned to forgive, to serve, and to love everyone without limits. They were witnesses to his miracles, but they also saw him die on the cross.
Hello.
Santiago traveled all over the known world to proclaim Jesus' resurrection, but when he arrived in Spain, he was not very well received.
What are you doing here? Come back now. Never come back. You're not wanted here.
Okay, goodbye.
When Santiago was at his lowest point, Mary, the mother of Jesus, appeared to him.
Hello.
And from that moment, with Mary's help, everything changed.
Hello.
You? Again? Christianity spread all over Spain and throughout all of Europe. And then Santiago returned to Jerusalem, where King Herod was eagerly awaiting his arrival.
Hello. Goodbye.
2 of his faithful friends took his body back to Spain, burying him in the land that he had won for Christ. For 8 centuries, his burial place was lost to history, until one day, a miracle revealed Santiago's burial place to a simple farmer. When the news of this discovery reached King Alfonso, he traveled over 300 miles to pray at the apostles' tomb. And since then, the stream of pilgrims has never ceased.
Chinos, ingleses,
canadienses y también vienen austriacos,
suizos.
Hasta de Brasil he visto. Hasta de Brasil.
El otro día vino hasta de Malasia.
They all walk to the city that carries his name, Santiago de Compostela.
Today, the entire setting captivates my senses in a powerful way. It calls to mind the path of my own life. The way we are to take is clearly marked, thanks to the thoughtful people who have marked it for our own safety. But if we allow ourselves to be seduced by false shortcuts that seem easy, we would end up lost. I have already experienced that freedom of walking off the road. I have gone off track. I have looked into the abyss. I have fallen. At this point in life, I know, through my own mistakes, that the most comfortable route is not always the best one. Thankfully, I also know what it's like to be rescued.
Today we're at a site of an apparition of Mary. The power of Mary in our life is absolutely significant. And so, for me, it was important to pray this rosary there.
That small cave, surrounded by mountains, has been a sacred place of prayer since the 8th century. In the year 711, the Muslims entered Spain from the south, determined to conquer the entire Iberian Peninsula. For 10 years they advanced, encountering little resistance, but when they came to Asturias, they discovered that the inhabitants had no intention of surrendering. A band of 300 brave men, led by a soldier named Pelayo, not only defended their land from the invasion, but they forced the army of 180,000 Muslims to return back to their homeland. Witnesses of the battle insist that the victory was not due to the strength or bravery of those 300 warriors, but because the Virgin Mary answered their prayers for her help and her motherly protection.
Hoy le preguntaba a uno de ellos, digo, ¿cuál es la parte de la peregrinación que más te ha gustado? Y me ha dicho, el día que estuvimos en Covadonga. ¿Por qué? Y con una ingenuidad de un niño, pues ha dicho, pues porque yo a la Virgen la quiero mucho. La Virgen la hemos sentido siempre muy cerca, muy cerca. Estamos haciendo la consagración a la Virgen, que es una consagración que se hace durante 33 días. El rosario lo hacemos todos los días.
Every step that I'm taking, I'm not going, okay, one step, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. My rhythm has been Hail Mary, full of grace. Every single breath that I take is a little prayer to get me to Santiago.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
I know for a fact it's something meaningful because back then, when I was away from church, my mom always used to pray the rosary, and I always seen her, she always asked me, you want to come pray with me? And I was like, nah, I can't right now, I'm busy, you know? And I always avoided it, you know, some sort of way. My mom prayed the rosary, and I know every time she prayed, she would get a little bit sentimental, and, you know, I would just be beside her, you know? And I can tell she prayed for me, you know, because what we've been through as a family, you know, has changed us all. And I went back to school, and then I started going back to church with her and our family, and it just helped out. So praying the rosary does help, you know, even though you don't see something or you don't see it in a flash, but I mean, in long terms, it unites your family together, you know. And any prayer you do for her, you know, she protects you.